As we've seen so far, fractions are all over the SAT. Unfortunately, it's not going to be as simple as ETS asking you to add, subtract, or multiply or divide fractions. But the good news is that the majority of them, you could just plug it into your calculator. I mean, you really don't even need to know your rules as long as you use your calculator to solve. And then you should also know how to convert fractions to decimals and decimals to fractions using your calculator. Generally with the TI calculators, it's as easy as math, enter, enter. If not, ask your math teacher, how do I convert fractions to decimals, decimals to fractions? Because it's a handy trick you need to know. Okay, let's, for the heck of it, just go through some basic fraction rules in case we can't remember. 2 2/3, that's a mixed fraction. You would want to know how to go from a mixed fraction to an improper fraction. So you multiply the whole number 2 by the denominator 3, so 2 times 3 is 6. And then you add the numerator, and 6 plus 2 is 8, and then that goes on the top, and you keep the denominator the same, so you would have 8 over 3. With adding, you want to always convert to a common denominator, so if, of course, you weren't plugging it into your calculator. So you'd have 4/7 plus 2/3. You want to find a common denominator of 7 and 3, so I would use 21. So to get from 7 to 21, you have to multiply by 3. And whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So 4 times 3 is 12. So our new fraction would be 12 over 21. And then to convert 2/3, to get from 3 to 21, you multiply by 7. What you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So 2 times 7 is 14. So because they have a common denominator, from here we get to add our numerators. So 12 plus 14 is 26. When you're adding and subtracting fractions, the denominator stays the same, so 26 over 21 is the answer that you get. When you are multiplying fractions, you just multiply top with top, numerator with numerator, and bottom to bottom, denominator with denominator. So we have 4/5 times 10/12. So we could just do 4 times 10 is 40 over 5 times 12, which is 60. And we get 40 over 60, and then from there we reduce. However, it's always good to cross-cancel. When you see a multiplication sign in the middle, cross-cancel it. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. And then we can cross-cancel the 5 and 10. 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. So you end up getting 1 over 1 times 2 over 3, which is just 2/3. I think it's a simpler way to go about doing it. Remember, when you're cross-canceling, in order to be able to cross-cancel, they have to have a common factor. So 4 and 12, the common factor is 4, and 5 and 10, the common factor is 5. When you're dividing with fractions, remember, keep it, switch it, flip it. So if I had 6/7 divided by 2 over 21, I keep the 6/7. I switch the division sign to a multiplication sign, and I flip the second fraction. Keep it, switch it, flip it. So I end up getting 6/7 times 21 over 2. From here, we can cross-cancel. When you look at 6 and 2, they both have a common factor of 2. So 2 goes into 2 once, and then 2 goes into 6 3 times, and then 7 and 21 have a common factor of 7. So 7 into 7 is 7, 21 divided by 7 is 3, so we'd have 3 over 1 times 3 over 1, which is 9. Otherwise, just plug those into your calculator, being sure to use parentheses, and it'll give you a 9. Okay, what do we do when we see an equation with fractions on one side? Like if we had 2x over 6 equals 6 over 10. Can we cross-cancel? Can we cancel out those 6 and find the common factor of 2 and 10 and make it 1/5? No, you can't. You can only cross-cancel when you see a multiplication sign in the middle. When you see an equal sign, the only thing you can do is cross-multiply. So we would have 2x times 10 is 20x, and then 6 times 6 is 36. We would divide by 20. You'd end up getting x equals 36 over 20, which reduces to 9/5. What's the mixed number for 9/5? 5 goes into 9 one time, so that would be 1 4/5.